Good morning, everybody. Well, hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. I got my coffee this morning. And I'm sitting by the fire today. I got my doctor's appointment yesterday and got my results for my surgery and a game plan going forward. And it's kind of a mixed bag. So first off, I was concerned, as you recall, about my stitches coming undone and the blood that had shown up, and it seems like that was normal because of the positioning of this large scar that I had. She says it's healing quite well. She did tell me to put some more vitamin E oil on it a little bit just to help soften it and that. I said, okay, fine, no problem there. And then we talked about the actual surgery itself and the cut that she made and things like that. And she says that the person who took my x-ray when I went in for my x-ray yesterday did point out and had some concerns about the a spot. It still looked like there was a spot remaining in that area on my right hand lung. However, when she looks at it, she says she believes it's the staple that she had to use to close the incision once she made the cut inside. It's a certain type of staple because of the large cut and the large incision she made. She thinks that's what it is. She'll monitor it, she says, but right now she's not concerned about it at all right now. So that's good news. But it is something to kind of watch out for, right? I asked her about the pain I'm still in and the uncomfort, and she says, yeah, it's probably going to go on for another month or so. So, okay, I'll live with that. It is just the location of the cut. That's the 99% of the issue that's going on right now. And I have noticed that the pain has started to subside a little bit. It's still tender. I can't sit at the office desk for very long. I can't do a lot of things right now. I have to keep moving a little bit, which is probably good. So that's the past surgery. So what next? Now I still have a spot on my left lung and we need to do something about it. And so when we were talking before, we had two possibilities. One was radiation for the location, and one is surgery, another surgery. And so I said, okay, my main concern for her, because the doctor, the radiation doctor, Dr. Dennis, he said that he was pretty sure, that lung was easily accessible and everything. He said 95 to 98% chance, yes, he will irradiate it and it's gone. But my concern was that 5 to 2%, right? I don't have good luck in percentages sometimes. So I asked her, I said, now, if he does the radiation, is there a possibility of that interfering with the operation in the future, of you not being able to operate in the future? And she said yes, and she explained why to me. The reasoning is that when you go in to irradiate the area, you don't just radiate that little spot, you radiate around it as well, which causes a larger dead zone, and it makes it really hard to staple together, to repair, to make an incision, cut away, and then have it heal. So she would actually have to cut around where the radiated tissue was to the good tissue, make it even larger, and depending on how much he radiates, we don't know how large that would be, and it might be too large for my lung to handle. So that was pretty blunt for me, and I said, okay, I guess it's surgery then. I'd rather cut it out, get it out, make sure it's gone. And she says, okay, I don't want to dissuade you. Radiation will probably work and everything. I said, no. We don't take chances with cancer. We go for it. This one here, this surgery is probably the hardest recovery I've had just because of the location of that cut. But I'm still going around. I'm still doing my groceries. I'm still doing my job on a limited basis right now because I can't sit for too long. But yeah, and I can't travel, of course, while I'm waiting for more surgeries. Now, I said to her right away, I said, I have my July trip where people are depending on me to be there, my Alaska trip. And I said, I'm not missing that no matter what. But then I said, I also have like $70,000 worth of trips booked in August that I really don't want to cancel. Like these are some of them, one of them is a once in a lifetime trip for me that I've been dreaming of all my life. And I said, so what, could we wait till September for the surgery? And she says, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I said, yeah, I know. It was a stupid question. It was a stupid question on my part. You don't put off cancer surgery, right? And, maybe July to the, it's only a month away. Maybe go there, second week in July. But I said, no, okay, let's do this. Now I explained to her my situation about the Alaska cruise in July. And I said, look, I am not missing this cruise. One way or another, I'm not missing this cruise. So the faster I get this surgery done, the more I'm recuperated and the better it'll be. I don't care if I have to hire a driver to drive me to the cruise port if I'm not allowed to fly or I can't take the train or whatever. I don't care. I'm getting to that cruise. So she says, well, there's a couple things we have to do before surgery. She says, all the paperwork you filled out for the last surgery is good for 6 months. So we don't even have to fill out the paperwork. But she needs to take a CT scan and do the pre-check-in, obviously. And there needs to be another coil installed for, directional purposes for the surgery. And she has to schedule all that. I said, okay. She says, but tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put in the request for surgery right now and put ASAP on it. And we'll get the other stuff done ahead of time. Now, if there's changes, for instance, I go in, and this one caught me a little off guard. She said, if she goes in and I do my CT scan and it shows there's nothing there, then obviously the surgery is going to be called off and things are going to change. And I'm going to go, well, that would be the best case scenario if there's nothing there. All of a sudden it's gone. I said, I don't think that's going to happen. It's shown up twice now. So I don't think that's a possibility. But hey, you never know. Maybe that, that's best case scenario, right? All around. But I said, for sure. She says, it looks like she will get me into the surgery 2 weeks, 3 weeks tops. And so we're into the last weeks. That means the third week tops of June, which gives me 2 weeks to my cruise. Cutting it very tight. Now, she can get me into 2 weeks. That's 3 weeks of recovery. That's lots of time. And depending on how much time, like when this surgery is, like if she can get it in by the beginning of the second, like not next week, but the week after, the beginning of that would be terrific. And I told her, I don't care when the CT scan is scheduled. It could be midnight, it could be 2 in the morning. I don't care, I'll be there. This is important, and I have commitments that I am going to get to that July cruise no matter what. I would be gone on the table before I miss that cruise. So if you're worried that I won't be on the Alaska cruise, don't. I'm getting there one way or the other. I don't care how much it costs me to do so. So, yeah. But for you, those of you concerned that I'm putting things off or endangering myself for these things, I'm not. The surgery will be done. It's going to be done as soon as possible. It's going to be done with the best surgeon I could possibly ask for. And yeah, it's time to get her done. And that's my update. So there's a spot remaining, probably a staple, and I'm having another surgery, and it's coming up soon. So there's my update. And I always promise I keep you guys informed. So I thought a little informal setting here instead of the office. It's just fireside in with my Donald Duck t-shirts. And being in my happy place, knowing that, okay, the surgery's happening, let's get her done. And one more makes lucky number 10. Well, I do hope you appreciate this update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world, and obviously one more release surgery update? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.